suggest to someone that's looking for an avenue or a way to get in to do good work to make a difference?
The first thing that they do want to do is look for what are already established community services within their community. A lot of times when you do those volunteer works with those organizations and you start all of those hours with them, you get to see the infrastructure of those places. You get to find out what the needs are of the people, because many times those community services are meeting some very dire needs of the people. And then that way you can get to understand what type of platform you want to focus on. And you also get connections with a lot of city agencies and city government officials because they are working with such organizations.
And I like the idea of actually going into the community to get a feel for the needs of that community.
Absolutely.
Going in and touching base with the residents and having conversations.
Absolutely.
Because that's how you make a difference. You go and you get an understanding, start a dialogue to find out where you can help, what skills that you have that will be of advantage or that will be able to make a difference in that community.
Absolutely.
So that's a great idea.
And not only that, but with anything that we do, you have to make it something that is going to benefit the people. And you can't benefit the people if you don't know what it is that they need. You can make your assumptions, but when you ask those questions and you get to meet those people, it will help you to know what it is that you need to focus on. And in a way, it is networking. Because when you run, they'll know your name, they'll know your face. So they'll be able to say, I know who this person is. And like Ms. Johnson rightfully said, anyone that is in public office, it is a civil servant. That is the term that is used for these people. So we have to go in with an idea of a mindset that it is not about you. It is not about what your personal needs and desires are, but what it is for the people that you plan to serve.
What can I do to help the people?
Yes.
Yeah. Dr. Watson, thank you so much. Are there any other resources? Is there any numbers or any websites that people can go to get more information?
Actually, if you go to different websites, it's just as simple as a Google search. One of the major organizations that we have here in Jacksonville, some of them are like Hubbard House, The Bridge, Communities in Schools. All of these different organizations that are here in Jacksonville, if you wanted to take it from a mental health perspective, because that's been a big deal with schools recently, then you can look at places like Daniel, you can look at River Region, you can look at the Youth Crisis Center, all of these different places that you can volunteer at. And it is as simple as just a Google search. Type in those names, you'll find their websites, go out there. The biggest thing is you have to be motivated. And it is a self-motivation thing. You will get discouraged, as Ms. Johnson explained. People will think you have ulterior motives. Politics in itself does not have the best rap. So you have to go in knowing that many times you may be alone, you may be by yourself, but if you have that within you that you say, I want to do this, I want to make a difference. And sometimes you may not win an office, but the fact that you've spent all of these time volunteering at different places, you have made a difference in somebody's life.
You have made a difference. Thank you so much for coming on our show.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. I'll be back in just a moment with closing thoughts. Our guest, Miss Glorious Johnson, had a heart for service. I believe that inside each of us, there are giftings, talents, and abilities that God wants to use to make a difference in the world that we live in. You have to look at yourself and think, what can I do to make a difference? What are the gifts and talents that I have that can be used or that can be taught or that can help change things or make a difference in our communities? If we all made a decision that we wanted to do good and make a difference in the world that we live in would be a very different place. Thank you for watching our show.